Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at playing a full Methedori list. So we've already looked at a Cholek one using our proxy captain Extilio, and today we're going to be looking at Methedori using the other option for a Methedori captain, which is Astra. So, at the moment in the game, there is no benefit for running pure faction, sticking with one faction. It's something a lot of people have discussed and hope might be the case in the future, but as of the moment, it's not implemented. But there's nothing wrong with going ahead and just sticking that in your list anyway and doing it for thematic reasons, having a bit of fun. So, in this list here, we've picked what I think are the best of the Methedori units. So, we've gone for Maximus and Beatrice as my favourite early game units whatsoever, with Taria probably pretty close behind. Got Floria Lancer, Torian Guardian, Furia, Savria Safeguard, Aria, Aegis Sentinel, and Aegis Defense Dome. So these last three here, Aria, Aegis, were more sort of because we want to pick the Methedori. These are the ones we'd probably rather not draw as often, but if we are, it's going to be Aegis Sentinel first and Aria second. Defense Dome's just not really something that I'm that big of a fan of, but overall, I actually think this looks fairly decent, and with Astra obviously at the helm, it's got a good chance of doing well anyway. So we've tried to match the colours up with the Methedori colours as well. And let's give this a go and see if we can get some good games. So we've got actually a few options for game plan here. We've got the standard option of having Florio sit in the back and just be a sort of long-range finisher. We've got Furia that we can try and protect. Furia and Defense Dome work quite well because she can just tick up every turn, and then never actually take any damage because the Defense Dome reduces it. And in the meantime, we can just be churning out other units to try and stall the game out. Maximus and Beatrice with Torian Guardian being a really good little combination. Beatrice and Torian for defense, Maximus to stick out and poke a little bit. It's a really nice way of sort of trying to shore up that early game. Give yourself a little way of making sure that you don't just have the opponent run away with the game immediately. Beatrice is probably the hardest to kill 2-drop in the game so far, and then Maximus is probably the hardest to kill 1-drop just because he's so tricky. He's always in and out of different spaces. You can use other models to sort of tuck yourself in, so even if they get a vortex or a crankbait, they can't even pull you out of position. So those are things that I'm going to be looking at, hopefully utilising fairly early on. We didn't pick things like Detonia, because Detonia is a Cinder-intensive unit, and also at the moment her range just isn't really there. So we've gone for more straightforward units to begin with. Detonia, while we like her, I think she's supposedly getting a range increase soon, so that would be something that adds a little more variety. So this is our first opponent with the metallic paint. I actually saw someone on the Discord talking about this. It even looks like it might have even been the same model. So this is our first video evidence of a Zakshikar with the metallic paint, and I think using this list, we're going to go with Orbital and Vortex. It pulls things together, and it's just a nice, consistent means of damage. So, more important than anything, let's just check this out. Look at that. I believe this is the same one. It's the same coloured flames and things as well, so that is absolutely gorgeous. I'm trying to make sure we get as good a view of this as possible so that anyone in the video can just stop and see why it's worth working our way to those metallic paints, which it really is. They're level 77, so they've definitely worked their way fairly swiftly. So we get a free tower arsenal here, which is nice. But being Astra, we're just going to hide at the back. I'm just going to keep looking at this. I feel like they could do with a little bit more effect on the sort of, what's it called, the exhaust there. But to be fair, the effects that they could go for, realistically, I'd have probably just done the same thing and kept the base model's effects, and I think that would still look really nice. Here again, I don't think we want to be sort of rushing into this. So what have we got left here? Defense Dome and Sentinel. So really, we want to be finding a way to reinforce. We'd also like this to be going on the Sentinel, not the Dome, but yeah, so they're going to move up. Hopefully they're going to play something that we can then start chipping away at. The Vortex. Okay, so they're going to try and poke our Taria. So they're going to move over here and hit, which, to be honest, is probably exactly what we're going to do in return. If they miss, that's great for us, because we've got Vortex on the backswing. So, Snarling. Is there a good route to get access into Snarling? So we can get Snarling down to a 10% chance, so I think that's actually what we do. We'll boost morale with Astra. It gives us the option of playing Defense Dome, but honestly, I think we'd rather just go for some damage onto Snarling here. If we got both, that would have been great, but it's not the end of the world. And what we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves up with line of sight so we can take the... Oh, it's a 0%. Well, that doesn't quite work for what I was hoping. And then we're actually just going to pull ourselves back behind here and give ourselves a little bit of extra protection. So here we've got the Astra's a little bit vulnerable, but Taria's a bit more protected, and that's what we want to protect against the disgusting looking Snareling, who, of course, is also metallic. This person's definitely showing off their metallic paints. And yep, same again. They've gone for the same colour scheme across their list. I mean, that's a good bit of dedication, why not? I can't believe that actually just hit us, but it was on here. So, can we get a 3-man orbital? We can't. So the question is, do we need to kill Blindside or Esley, or do we need to kill Snareling? And honestly, I think it's probably Esley. But can we find a way that Astra gets the final blow? We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we're going to save our Cinder, and we're going to try and do it this way. So just go about here, so there's minimal interference, -1. Smash this. Go for orbital here, get Astra to get the final one so we can reinforce, which is exactly what we want to be doing. We've drawn Maximus, which is a really nice use hit. Oh, our opponent conceded. Okay. I just wanted to look at their pretty models more. Atari Arsenal's going to get ranked up fairly soon. Astra's getting up there. So we've got a long way to go before Unlucky Nose, but that looked really pretty. So that's going to be something I'm absolutely going to mention for this video content. I suppose we just go for playing another game. Hopefully we're coming against the same opponent. They're playing Zax, which is my favourite means of playing, like favourite way of playing anyway. I think maybe they thought we were trying to play some sort of meta list. I don't think they realised that we were reducing the cost of a defence dome rather than a switchback, say, because that's a reason that I would consider conceding. If they'd have seen me, if I'd have seen someone reduce a cost 3 times over and still not actually play anything out, I'd have been a little bit concerned that there might be something massive in my future, not just a little defense buff. So I can understand that. I love seeing 3 different models that they've all painted in the metallic. I think that's something that I'd be really tempted to do if I was going to be playing a lot of Zax. I'd be making like a specific color scheme. I'd even probably just make a video of us, just going through and making that metallic color scheme across the board and having a bit of fun with that as well, because I'm not a painter. I have no real talent for painting whatsoever. I sort of experiment with it, but I feel like that's quite a good thing to sort of make public, because not everyone has to be good at painting. Not everyone has to have that artistic flair. I'm really happy with how both my Taurian Guardian and my Beatrice look, and they're the only 2 that I've really put effort into. And one of the other things I'm going to be looking at is there's someone called Robobin in the Discord channel. They also are the person that won the very first painting competition. They've uploaded a video on how to paint faces as well. So before I do any models with faces, I'm going to be watching that tutorial, and I'm going to be trying to figure out, how to do it in the most sort of realistic way possible. It won't compare, but I have seen other people who've used that tutorial and it's gone really well for them. So I'm quite keen to give that a go. Again, I'm probably going to wait until I get the metallic paints, because I just think there's some really cool options there. There's not that many shades of metallic paint, but I reckon there'd be some pretty cool sort of stylistic choices you can make. For instance, this person's gone all out and just gone full metallic. I'd probably go more slightly metallic and have a little bit more sort of I don't know, I can't decide. There's a lot of options to go through, because they could go quite stylized. But right, let's go into a game. We've got Astra versus Astra, but we have a robot and they have a frog, so there is absolutely no way of telling who's going to win, because they're both awesome. I'm so glad. Oh, okay, I'm also glad we're going second, because otherwise that would be a brutal series of events. Cinder Infusion and Medical Recall aren't too bad. Sorry, Stowaway and Medical Recall. I think we're going to go Cinder Infusion. We've got expensive things, and we've got things with activated abilities as well. So we're just going to be doing that. Hopefully we're going to hit Tower Arsenal on turn 1 with this. If they move to try and hit us, that's kind of okay for us, because we'll just try and hit them back and then hide. So this person is Mactha. They are level 0, so they may have played a lot of PvP, they may have just been doing something different, but either way, we did get Tower Arsenal as our first option there. So we're going to just hide around here as expected, play Taria down, and again, just be happy that we've got the additional pressure coming through. So it's going well so far. what are they going to play? Yep, so they play their 1 cost, then they can use Stowaway, then Reinforce. This is the correct sequencing. If you've got a 1 cost, you don't want to reduce your 1 cost down to 0. It's just a waste of a Cinder. So what we can do is see if we can get any lines of sight over here. We can't, so we're just going to still play it safe, boost morale. Getting Fury is a great bit of a great thing there, because what we can do is reduce that next turn, and we can start playing out something that's really going to tick down and make the game go in our favour. If we could choose between these two, we'd be picking Florio Lancer, because this is a situation where we can just bombard things away. I wouldn't be surprised to see them trying to make a move soon. Okay, this even further incentivizes us to play Florio Lancer, because Taurian Guardian is absolutely excellent. Stitchy McPatchy. Okay, so they're just bunching up here. If we had Orbital, this would be brutal. So this, can it pull us? Not quite. So what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle to like over here slightly on our turn, so it makes it harder for them to pull. We will, however, take a pot shot first. And can Astra do the same? Not quite. So we are going to boost morale. No matter what we do here, it was going to be either Furia or Florio Lancer that we play down. And to be completely honest, we can get a line of sight here. Not a good one, but it's, we hit it. I'll move over here, and we're actually going to play something up this way. Now, given that we've got Cinder Infusion, we've got a couple spare Cinder next turn, I think Florio Lancer is probably the right bet, and keeping it as safe as possible. And save this additional Cinder. We don't need to waste it giving ourselves rapid fire on a turn when we're not necessarily in range. But if we can start sort of chipping away at units, I know they've got a Stitchy McPatchy, but that heals one thing. Okay, so we've got the exact opposite. They've got Stasis Field, and we've got Nano Shield. So they're stunning us for a turn, and we're just hiding for a turn. So they're going to be looking to spread out here, which does mean that we're probably going to be looking to play Furia and then starting to actually just pick away at their units on the battlefield. So in theory, Maximus could die here. That's probably something we're going to look at, seeing as all of these are melee. And what we want to do is find a way that we can't get pulled. Ooh, we can get pulled here. Okay, so this is obviously reduced. And we could also just play Aegis Sentinel, say here. Okay, so let's see. We've got, it's a big minus if we go over there anyway. The awkward part of this is Astra being stuck, is that we can't actually move around Astra with Tower Arsenal. So I think our best bet is actually probably just to play Furia hiding it up here, and then use Tower Arsenal on herself, and try and get a bit of line of sight going. There's nothing less than 26, so we'll just go here. And then we're actually going to make her invulnerable. That's a really good... In fact, rather than play Fury here, we can just kill Crankbait, which stops them stitching McPatching it next turn. And we can just move that a little bit further away. So this has worked out fine for us. Furia is going to be able to come down next turn. Probably not going to use it to give her haste. This is going to hit us quite easily. Almost probably going to pop right back here. This is a mistake if they do this. Yeah, this is a mistake. So that puts them right in the middle of our sort of kill box here. We've already got guaranteed 3 damage on it. We've got multiple other damages that can be heading out as well. Toxoid's good, but again, if Toxoid's not in range, they need to give it into the breach to really be worthwhile. So they're just filling out on characters here. They're just filling their board up as much as possible, and what we need to do is start AoEing this down. So we may not actually be playing our Furia after all, but if we play Aegis Sentinel actually, that's a really powerful choice. So we can guaranteed Aegis Sentinel, but I think still here we're still boost morale, because if it's Furia, that's perfectly fine. It gives us options to do this turn. So for instance here, where do we go from here? How fast is Toxoid? Not quite fast enough, so we can just bring this up here. We missed anyway. We'll come here and just poke some damage out. Florio is going to move further away because we're going to bring Furia just back here. And I think here, so I've got to decide, I think we actually want to save the Cinder because we may want to play our Age Sentinel and then give it into the breach. So I think we're in a slightly precarious spot, but it's not an awful one. So again, them coming up here, we're kind of just setting them up in a little channel, which is what we want to be doing. Because we've got our Flechette launcher coming and then potentially also Bombard as well. Okay, Jailbreak on Taria is fine. So they're going all in on Taria Arsenal here. So we just want to place our Flechette launcher probably around here and just launch it at everything. Because they've got maximum units on the battlefield and we can potentially kill multiple in one turn. Yeah, this is a huge grouping. It might even be worth just using our Bombard and running. Especially with this being able to get attacks in as well. We could even just kill Toxoid here if we survive. This is a really interesting situation to be in. Because I feel like we're obviously behind. But we're not behind to the point where the game's untenable. Like, we can deal damage to all of this in one turn. And I think that's probably what we do. So we've got 85% chance here. So let's just do that first. We can't move. So we've only got this on the bridge, which is what we want anyway. So we're going to boost morale that. We'll move up here. And this is where we're just going to play our Sentinel. Probably just out of range of Beatrice. Into the breach it. And then Flechette everything except our own model. This is the biggest Flechette I've seen. We're missing out on Maximus, but we have a plan for that. Maximus is taking Furia to the face. We are then also going to Cinder Infusion and save some of that for next turn. And because we're here, we might as well just chuck a couple of points of damage as of where we can. And keep moving Florio Lancer back. We could have actually seized initiative there, but again, killing a Toxoid is really useful. They're going to really want to kill this. So Aegis Sentinel, that's fine. The more damage that's not going on Sentinel, the better here. Because there's a really good chance that this is just what wins us the game. It's just, this is a really good position for a static unit. Like, this is the correct thing to do, is start twisting it around, that sort of thing. But if they all line up as well, we can potentially fire this way and then also have Florio Lancer to bombard as well. I think this has gone about as well for us as it could have, given that our opponents had a massive amount of units on the battlefield at one point. So yeah, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to probably ignore Astra and just shoot this way. If we had a Vortex, we'd be pulling it that way slightly. Okay, so they've got their own Flechette launcher. I keep calling it Flechette just because that's its ability, but Aegis Sentinel. So what we're actually going to be doing is moving out of the way here as well. So just fully AoEing this area is what we're looking to do. We've got 6 units in reserve, they've got 2. So while we're less on the battlefield, I feel like we're making better use of what we have got. And then we can probably... So yeah, we can just get all 4 of these straight away. So that's obviously the first thing that we do. Florio Lancer to bombard them as well. And then what we're going to do is use Furia to kill Beatrice here, but we're going to move to a different angle. In fact, we can't get to too much of a different angle, so we might as well just go straight in, take their Flechette launcher to the face. There we go. At this situation, 547. Oh, it's got armor. That was a mistake. But this is fine. We don't have anything in our hand. Nothing here is particularly safe, but they can't kill our Flechettes either. I think we're in a really good spot. Because I think Astra having not taken any damage is the big deal here, because they've got one low damage unit, another low damage unit, and a static unit, which I don't believe is even in range. So it can hit both of these, but I don't think there's even enough to kill all of this. Okay, so that's what needs to die first. They're going to give that haste. But yeah, so we're going to be working immediately on killing Tipu. Stasis field here, that's fine. We can make that indestructible next turn. So we're going to be again focusing on killing Tipu. We're going to be using Astra and this. So, not Astra, Furia and this. And we may even need to find something else as well. So, Interestingly, we've forgotten about something. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got a pretty good turn here because we can unstun this. For share goes. So this is going to be 3, 6. Yeah, so we're going to kill Tipu here. Get the bombard in on everything. So the Tipu kill isn't guaranteed, but we've got. In fact, we should use Astra first, just in case we get the reinforce. Perfect. So that means Furia can now take out Stitchy McPatchy, and we're in a position where I don't really know how we lose from here. We'll shield up this. They have 1 unit left in the game, other than their Aegis Sentinel, and we've got 5 more in reserve. So this is some of the best AoE value that we've ever got out of a list. I actually can't believe quite how much value we've got. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So we're going to try and fit in 1 more game. Tari Arsenal gets to rank up, I believe. Nearly Astra as well. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So fit 1 more game. That was just the best use of AoE I've got so far. Even in our AoE lists, we didn't get AoE that went that nicely. So I'm very, very happy with that. Obviously you can tell that our opponent hadn't figured out some of the interactions. They were level 0 players, so chances are they'd mostly played either cargo run or were new. But it was awesome. I've seen this player before. I haven't seen their name, but I've seen them very briefly. I actually think it might have even been a game where I played against them and they immediately just quit, which is funny in itself. Let's go stowaway reinforce so we can just really run away, or actually, I like Vortex Stasis Field. We're going to be trying to keep away from them. So is this Soul Rider Forever? But yeah, I've seen the Jet Sword before. I can't quite see the cape. So we have drawn Maximus. So especially versus Extilior, I'm going to be playing a Maximus straight away. This is not the one where we get an angle early on. But Maximus is just so useful at trying to chip away some early damage. Especially if we can then get him to somewhere with an angle on it. So here we can move up there, so we just want to move to about here. In fact, we're probably best off just doing this. Vortexing him out. Taking a couple of shots. We missed 1, but that's fine. Getting Astra over here for a pot shot as well. 60%. Of course he missed that as well. We did get enough to play Arya, so Arya's going to go over this side. Because it gives us just more angles to potentially kill him from, so she'd be able to move over here and possibly get an angle this way if we needed it. So they've got the reinforce. We've got stun soon, so we're just going to be chipping away at Extilior as much as possible here. I actually think Maximus maybe shouldn't have run all the way back here, because now he can't get an angle if Extilior just hides back here. But it's not too unreasonable. There would be good for us, because we might be able to get an angle. But it's unlikely. I think we're actually... Yeah, we've just maybe made a small mistake there. Whatever they play here is what's going to get shot, if that's where they're going. Crankbait, sure. Okay, well that was a miss, but that's fine because we're just going to pop back here. Maximus is going to get the damage off this time. He's going to get at least 1. Again, 1, that'll do. I think back here is probably best, and then Astra. Again, we're just going to hide behind things. Poke some damage out where we can. More misses. And Savria Safeguard as a melee unit can go a bit further up, but we're still going to place it here so that they have to come out in the open to take us out. So we're not getting as much damage onto Extilior as we might like, but here we're just trying to whittle down their resources. I still can't believe out of all those shots we only got 1 damage onto Crankbait. But what we've tried to do as well is minimise the options for the grappling hook. So if you look, everything from most angles this can walk to, other than maybe Savria, who is our melee unit, is going to be really hard to pull out of the cover and towards Extilior. So this to me looks like they might have a vortex. They might be pulling us in. Oh no, they're just going to pull Astra there. Okay, that's fine. We're just going to stun him and chip away a bunch of damage. If that's what they want to spend their turn doing, that is fine by me. So we're actually out of units, which is amazingly impressive this early on. Taurian Guardian's a great pickup. Get our range attack in here. Boost morale. We'll bring Maximus over for this. Get that damage in. Savria's just going to generally run forwards, as is Arya, and get that damage in. Perfect. In fact, it's almost worth bringing these two together. I think it is, because getting that extra damage and stunning Extilio first really puts us in a position where you can just take them out. Ooh, that crit really matters. Okay, yeah, we're in a good spot here. Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage next turn as it stands, and we can still start getting defensive here. So they can obviously play things like, okay, yep, Taurian Guardian. I was going to say Taurian Guardian, Nectar Bloom, these sort of things are defensive options. If they pull something away over here, that's also fine. So what we're going to be looking for now is our... Oh yeah, we've got Taurian Guardian as well. We're going to be looking for our defensive options to counter... our direct damage options to counteract those. So here, we're going to just start by taking our ranged attacks. Savria Safeguard, because this has got 0 cost, yeah. So Savria Safeguard will shield barrier herself. And just go for the 60% hit, which we got. And then we'll just move back here. Arya will take the shot. Because stillness is 2, not 1. Which is a miss, but that's also fine. We'll move Maximus first to take his shots. Which we got. Perfect. Arya can move a bit further back this way. Maximus here. We're going to use Astrash for the 44%. We got that. Taurian Guardian just in range here as well. Into the breach. And we're going to just keep on throwing attacks in and seeing if we can make any progress here. So Astra also going to run away because next time we've got the Vortex. So they're again in a difficult spot. Lifeline, okay. I was thinking it was going to be something of a big effect from that, but Lifeline works. So again, they're still not safe. They've got 3 turns before they can use that again. Next turn, we can probably pull Extilio away from Taurian Guardian, which is what we're going to be doing. We obviously couldn't do that last turn. So he's got 10 health. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have got 10 damage as it stands. But if they play something like a Jailbreak, we're going to have to basically pull this way with just these and worry about that at that point. Okay, Chuck and Co, that's fine. So their only option here is a Shield of Hope, which they need to do now realistically. Taurian can't even fit through, so we're almost guaranteed to be able to pull Extilio away from them. And the good thing about this means we only need to pull Extilio. We don't need to try and pull Savrio and get a sort of strange angle or anything. They could run away. It is absolutely viable to run away here. Yeah, if they do, we just start going back to the range damage plan, which I think is probably what we do. Because they're all melee so far. Okay. So, Maximus wants to try and get around onto Crankbait. Because we can't do any damage to Chuck and Co. Good. That is a success. Here, I think we're doing the same. Yeah, this is all good. And what we're going to do is we're going to want to reinforce here. Because we want to find things, not these, but some things. So, if we bring this over here, we can use Stillness to get 100% onto Taurian Guardian. The pull doesn't really do much here. Astra can get an attack, it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, it was a miss. Play Terror Arsenal over here. Who is left? I think Taurian Guardian just moves back here, and we're just going to shield barrier ourselves over this point. So we're doing okay. They're not going to be able to lifeline yet. We're going to try and save it until we can burst down Extilior. So this is why we're going after other units first. Taurian Guardian being the main menace, which is why we're trying to find either Florio Lancer or... In fact, no, just Florio Lancer, really. I think that's all we're really going for. Which is a shame. Oh no, Aegis Sentinel works, because we can just place that over here and just throw damage at them. This little defensive pocket here is quite nice for us because they don't have the means to get there. So we've put 2 units at risk here, but they're entirely melee, and so are the units that we've put at risk. So, like for instance, whatever they play here, the chances are we're going to find a way to deal with it. But this is why we're probably just reinforcing every turn now to see if we can find Florio, because then that just ends this game very quickly. They don't have that little camp to hide behind anymore. Okay, so Amplified Bitos, they're going all damage. So, interesting enough... Oh, they've got range now. Okay. So Taria's the unit that we're going to be looking to kill. Yep, this is going to be a miss, and we're going to hit back. Okay, it wasn't a miss, but it was hopeful. I was optimistic. So Taria's the one we're actually scared of here. And then if we can, we'll probably consider taking out Amplify Bito. This is a mistake if they do it, because then Maximus just kills Crankbait. But either way, if we do it next turn, it would just be free damage for us. So let's pull Taria Arsenal out over here. So we've got an 85% there, 84% on ourselves. So we'll just do this. Reinforce. We get Sentinel. Nice. Go for this. Get Astra to see if we can poke. No, we can't, but that's fine. Wow, we missed all of those. So I guess that means that we need to actually bring Taurian Guardian over this way. And then we're still going to go for this. We're going to move Maximus over here and try and just get the final shots off on Crankbait. Get one more. No, we did get a miss, unfortunately. So that's back over here. Again, we're going to shield barrier ourselves. And then we're just going to start moving back slightly. There we go. And keep our distance here and end the turn. So we're obviously now not in a position where we're miles ahead. But they don't have any heal onto their captain. We've taken him down a good chunk. We've started weakening their units. And we're in a position now where there's no guarantee that what they're going to do is going to be able to take out our units. So like this here, this is a good trade. Extilior can swing and hit, but if he misses again... Okay, now Extilior can come in and spin, that's fine. But that's putting him back at risk of being shot again. So I think they're still looking to play it safe, it looks like. So we've got Aegis Sentinel, which is going to be our play next turn, and we're probably just going to launch it down this side, especially if they go into sort of a little funnel down here. We could also potentially play it up here and try and go for like a 2-sided cone, especially if they play something out this side. With the stun available as well, I think we're in a really good spot. It's just finding the right angle for the Sentinel, but with Vortex we can readjust it if we need to. So I'm not feeling too upset here. I'm feeling quite confident. If anything here, I actually kind of think just this angle here and just maybe here, throw it down that way. Reinforce it later on. I don't know what Crankbait's trying to do here. I think this is a huge risk. It's just going to be taking yourself out no matter what. Is this sacrificing Crankbait for 1 damage? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay. So we're going to boost morale. Play the Sentinel. So we've got the range there. So I think here, into the Breach Sentinel, we get 3 units here with the Flechette. We don't quite get Extilior, but that is all fine. We don't have high percentage chance to hit any of these things, but we can probably just keep this alive. So let's bring... Savria's actually going to come up here, and Savria is going to be the one to hit Crankbait that way, so that we can send Maximus. In fact, Maximus is just going to come and poke Amplifier Bytol, I think, because we can save our Flechette damage for next turn. And we did get our crit. Their Crankbait is gone, so we're just going to go over here. We will stun. Let's stun Chuck and Go, and then just take range attacks here. Just throw all the range attacks we can. And then we're just going to move slightly further back because they've got Shrapnel. Okay, well, Shrapnel didn't move us away. The reason we stun Taurian Guardian is so that they can't move things back along this route. So it's quite unfortunate Taurian Guardian didn't die there, but that is what it is. I think we're in a good position. We are going to start reinforcing again to look for Florio to just deal with this. They're probably going to deal 5 damage here, but it's reduced, so 3. This is fine. If they want to come up this way, whatever we draw next can probably just kill it. Okay, that's with a miss as well. That's brilliant for us. Also with the Vortex, I think we can actually probably Vortex everything into this little gap and then still Flechette that way. And I think that probably starts putting the game on a bit of a clock for our opponent, depending on what they play out. Okay, so they've got... Ooh, Quetzali, okay. So that's the biggest thing in Extilior list, is playing a Quetzali and just having things be mobile. So now they're going to try and move around. They can kill Maximus if they need to. Yep, that's what they're going to do. And then if they move back over here somewhere, then that's really good for us actually, because we're going to Vortex into this corner. Yeah, this could be a really difficult turn for them. Okay, so I believe this should pull everything out this way. Yep, there we go. Our Flechettes over here, which kills Amplifier Bytol, does damage to Taurian Guardian, starts chipping away at things. We will seize initiative on Arya, who is going to be tasked with trying to take out Chuck and Go in assistance with... Oh, okay, perfect. We've got a crit. So Savria is actually going to come in here and just hit Quetzali. So obviously they can deal with it. They can't hit themselves, so we're just going to shoot here. Move back this way. We didn't get a chance to reinforce, so we've got a good chance of hitting that, but it doesn't do anything. So let's just poke Quetzali again. It missed anyway. This is us here. So I'm not quite sure how this goes. I feel good about it, but again, needing to reinforce and find the right units is quite important here. And I feel like if they just rush down our Astra, we could actually be in a lot of trouble. But having taken Extilior down to 8 previously, I think is really key in dealing with this properly. Especially as now we're going to get multiple options to use to take out Taurian Guardian with our Flechette launcher if they don't run and hide. This I don't think gets a good angle on both things. Yeah, so they're just going to try and rush us now. That crit's huge. That crit probably gives them permission to just run up with Extilior and try and take us out, which is very unfortunate. Yep, we're in a lot of trouble now. So we either need to kill Quetzali or Extilior. We don't have our assists yet. They've taken Maximus out. So we are probably going to be using Savria up here to reduce the damage onto Astra. And trying to just, maybe even just move back and Flechette these guys down. Because we technically do just about have enough damage. Because Savria can reach. Okay, so Esli is going to be another issue. I think we might be in trouble here. So let's reinforce first. Okay, so Savria is coming in here and hitting Taurian Guardian. We're going to shield barrier Astra. We may as well boost morale, because one of the things we're going to do is come back here, take our pot shot Taurian Guardian, play Beatrice in here for free. We probably do need to flesh it actually, so this is a mistake. We should have done that in a different order, but Taurian Guardian just needs to die. And then, oh, we didn't actually leave enough Cinder left. So we're going to try and get another crit here. We're going to use this all as move blocking, basically. We don't have anything left, so there's a very good chance we die here. Quetzali could be our death. But one more turn, I think we're right, because they're down to almost no units. And we've got Astra in a fairly safe position. Yeah, so we've left Shrapnel with not many outcomes here. It's more Blindsider Esli and Extilior together just running across the map that I'm quite scared of. We have protected Astra once with Savria Safeguard, who is also probably dead this turn, just to clarify. I'm very surprised if Savria didn't die. Who have we got left then? Defense Dome's actually decent here. In fact, all three of our remaining units are good. We just need to make sure we don't throw our potential damage away. We probably just need to try and kill Quetzali. Yeah, this is all valid. If they go in there, they kill their own unit, but it's going to die anyway. So, and then this hit is fine. Yeah, that's correct ordering. Okay, so if Quetzali moves here, that's good for us, because we can probably look at getting an angle on some things here. Okay, Deadeye, yeah. So we're still in trouble, but we're not out of this. So let's pull everything as far this. We can't quite, I don't believe, get everything where we want it. Sorry, I'm just going to be mumbling into my hand for a second then. So we will flechette these. Doesn't get, what's his face? Blindsider, that's it. So we'll just use her to kill here. We are going to reinforce. Is it? Okay, it's Furia. That's a good draw. Again, can't cast it yet, but that's fine. And we do need to continue body blocking, basically. So the range attack is going to go... We don't want to use it on Extilior because it can actually heal him. If we go here and we get a crit, then that's a kill, but no crits. So I think we just, again, hide back here. Keep us far this way probably as possible. And then use Beatrice to... In fact, if Beatrice blocks this section, it's much harder for them to get around. So again, we're struggling, but we're not out of it yet. We've got a stun. They've got no units left other than what's on the battlefield. And we're still holding flechette launchers to hold them to ransom. So this is likely out of... Yeah, this is out of range here. We're probably stunning Extilior next turn, but Beatrice can get in here and actually get a double shot of damage off if they don't kill her. Still most scared of Blindsider Esli. Okay, we've taken one. They should be healing Deadeye here. Or are they trying to save it just to use on Extilior? Yeah, so they're trying to move Extilior around to us. So that now makes me think we should try and kill him next turn if we've got the option. So he's got essentially 8 life. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 8 damage on the board, and we can play another 2. So if Extilior moves aggressively, we probably win. But he doesn't, which is sensible. 64% chance. Yeah, that would be the right choice. There we go. So now we don't have guaranteed lethal anywhere. And what we do have is a very scared Astra. So Beatrice can't reach anything. We've got the stun. However, I actually think we're better off just reinforcing here. There we go. Bring Beatrice back here. This doesn't have any targets. Astra back here. Playing Florio Lancer in our little corner. And I actually think our best bet here is to stun Quetzali, because that stops them having the ability to move around our list. So now they're kind of just stuck. They don't have a valid way to get to us for this turn. We can, if they don't lifeline here, we're almost guaranteed to kill it. We've got our pull to pull things into flechette range. So I think, yeah, they're going to be doing this. We're going to be pulling down this way, flechetting, and just trying to maybe even take the game out this turn. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage potentially. So Maximus doesn't get to move. So they've got 9 total wounds that they're able to take. I think we might have this, but it's very close. Like, Extilior's the big play here. If they haven't... Oh, no, they're going to realise. So now we're going to have to kill all of these because we can't take out Extilior. Yeah, SD coming in is fine. It just gives us something to spend our Cinder on. So we're not too worried about that. But we actually are more interested in killing things down here than we are in trying to rush them down. So one thing we can actually do is just pull the Quetzali this way, which I think is what we do. Because now Quetzali is going to really struggle to get anywhere relevant. We've got our bombards here. If this only has one, we've got a very good chance of just reinforcing as well. Excellent. Can boost our morale. And Furia can pop down here as another defensive option. Again, we know what they've got. Nothing else can do anything except move. I think we've holed up well enough here to be probably quite safe. We're essentially going to be able to one-shot Extilior next... Well, not one-shot, but take out Extilior next turn if we need to. This is annoying, but Maximus is dead. Like, actually just dead. There's nothing I can see that keeps him alive next turn, realistically. The other option is we could try and just take things out up here. But I think Blindsider Esley needing to get through this gap makes it very difficult for them to do so. And we can just start really blocking this off. This is going to be something they can do in future, but they can't even spend all their Cinder now. Like, at some point, Esley is probably never going to be a 4-attack unit again. Yep, so you can get it around here. Oh, is Esley? Yep. This is absolutely fine. If we can take out Esley over Maximus, that's even better for us. Because now they're stuck. Esley is the one that we've been scared of, so I'm absolutely fine with this and just blocking Astra in the corner. Again, we're not safe. We're not safe by any means, but we're not dead, is the thing to bear in mind. So we're going to probably be even moving further back and using more units to body block here. Because what we can do, so if we get... What we need to do is find a way of dealing... So how many shields? 1 shield. So we need to do a couple of damage here. So do we try and just move this back here? This is interesting because I think we actually have to bombard and we can't quite get both. So we're going to have to body block onto Furia just to... onto what's it called? Astra, just to keep her alive. So this is a kill. Again, protect even more than before. Oh, of course, no, because we can boost morale, and then that changes everything. We've got a range attack over here, sure. We use it because we can. Because we're not far... Oh, wait. Was it not enough? Oh, we're not quite there. So we really only have to last 1 turn. Does the flechette hit anything? No. Okay, so Maximus is their only hope. They need to double crit here, because I can't see them being able to get through any other way. They've only got 2 units left. We're going to grind them out completely. We've got Vortex next turn, and we should be able to stop them getting anywhere near our Astra. So they've got reduced accuracy thanks to Maximus, so basically they need to get some low chance hits with double crits. Otherwise we're going to kill Maximus, then we're going to kill Quetzali, and then we're going to leave Extilior running around on his own to make our good old friend in the old Discord sad. Yeah, miss. Okay, now he's dead. I think this is just game over now. We're going to bombard him. There's no world in which we don't bombard Maximus. He's the only ranged threat anymore. And we can just keep safe back here, play our defense dome, and never have to worry again. Even if he just goes as far away as possible, I believe we've got... Yeah, we can just pull him back into range. Oh, no, because they can heal him. Of course. So we just kill Quetzali then. Like, killing Quetzali does the same job here. So we've got 3 from this. Boost morale. Bombard. Play our defense dome. And now we pass. So now they need to get 4 crits onto us from Maximus. And this is a real fortress. We tried building a fortress list before. Turns out the Methedori are actually just naturally a fortress. Yep, this is fine. You can just start gradually working your way towards that. We're probably just going to end up stunning Maximus and just running towards him. So let's just start trying to deal with this. First things first, Furia. Can you get the 50-50 to nearly kill him in 1? Oh, we got the crit. Perfect. So now we're just going to gradually move over and just keep safe over here and start prodding Extilior. So Flechette doesn't do anything, but Bombard can. Okay, and then we'll just pass the turn here. We can just leave Astra back for as long as we need to and very slowly just chip down these shields. Florio can just do this. Keep on charging up. Bring our Astra up. Yeah, call this a day here. And then as soon as he moves out, that's when we stun him. So we're just going to build up Furia, go for the final play. They've got nothing to do here. Florio Lancer, bombard him every turn. And just slow advance. And also just keep Astra back as far as possible. There we go. Even if, like, there's nothing they can do. They can restore his health, that's fine. But we're just going to build Furia up and up and up until Furia can just deal with it. So again, back to my favourite style of game. Being able to grind out every single model the opponent has. We're actually just going to move Furia over here, give them a full sense of hope. And then we're going to stun Extilior. And just keep moving up. So next we're going to have Furia move over here and one-shot him. Yay! That must have been so demoralizing for the opponent, but I actually really enjoyed being able to finally build that little fortress up, knowing we were safe, knowing that we had the end game. It was a great feeling. So thank you everyone for watching that. I really enjoyed that list. So it turns out the Methedori are quite good at what they do. Their captain nearly leveled up 20 XP before we do so, and we're making good progress on the season track. So thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most of all, just have a good day.